Finally, the moment we've been waiting for all season. The NBA Finals are here. Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. Let's get into it. Alright, the first thing I want to say about both of these teams, this is a great matchup to me. This is perfect, and I mean perfect NBA Finals. I'm going to keep it $150 with you. Last year's NBA Finals it didn't do it for me. But this series, I can very much see this series being a dogfight. So the first thing I want to talk about are the matchups. I think that these matchups are perfect for each team. I think that the Boston Celtics, they have their advantage in the size department with their bigs and how they can spread the floor, but they're not as athletic and as young and youthful as the Dallas Mavericks' bigs. But where I will give the Boston Celtics the edge is they do have the ability to have more versatility in their small forward positions, because on the Dallas Mavericks side, they really only have PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., players like that on their team. They don't compete with the small forwards and the power forwards on the Boston Celtics team, so that's an advantage that they have. But the advantage back to Dallas is they have the guard play, something that the Boston Celtics are kind of lacking at times. Now, since we're talking about matchups, I want to talk about Kristaps Porzingis. Is he going to have the ability to get up and down the court? Is he going to have the stamina? Is he going to have the ability? He's not going to be rusty because he's been out the whole playoffs. He's had no run. And we've seen things like when Joel Embiid tried to come back, he looked okay, but he looked like a shell of himself. And if Kristaps is a shell of himself, this Boston team is really, really going to struggle. On this Boston Celtics team, Kristaps Porzingis has a role to just add rim pressure, get blocks, and help on defense when necessary. And they haven't had that through these rounds, and he's really, really vital to what they do on both sides of the floor. And if he's not going to be 100% or a shell of himself, it's going to be interesting to find out. We might have to give a lot more minutes to Al Horford because, respectfully, Al Horford's been balling with these minutes that he's got. Now, something for Boston I don't think anyone's really bringing up is we've seen Kyrie go up against his defense previously, a few years ago, when Brooklyn played the Celtics. And Kyrie was not hooping that series. And I will respectfully say that this Boston team now has a better perimeter defense than that old Boston team. This Celtics team just has seasoned defenders like Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown. It's insane how many different sets that they can throw on the perimeter. I 1000% believe that if the Boston Celtics show up, stay consistent, they will win this series. They will beat the Dallas Mavericks in 7. But I personally don't think that's going to happen. I think that there's going to be a bunch of different games where Jaylen Brown's up and Jason Tatum's down. And they simply can't have that happen this series. When you're playing against someone like Luka Doncic, who goes for your throat every single night, who just hits wild and boundless shots, and he just drains the defense with the shots he hits, you can't be playing like that. Not to mention, I've seen this Boston Celtics team struggle against an Indiana Pacer offense without Halliburton. Now they have to deal with Luka and Kyrie Irving. They have to stand 10 toes down on every single possession. I personally think that there's just too many things going against Boston for me to pick them in this series, so I gotta go with the Dallas Mavericks. I think Luka Doncic wins his first ring. Kyrie submits himself as at least a top 10 guard of all time. And the Boston Celtics are going to move on from this core that they've been trying to develop and run with and shake it up in the offseason. But let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you think I'm tweaking right now. Who you got in the finals. These are just my opinions. These are just my thoughts. NBA Sphinx out.